What's good, YouTube? Welcome to my first video on my channel, Big Money MMA. Today we're talking about UFC 324, fight predictions, betting breakdown, parlay advice, anything that I can give you to get excited for this new Paramount card. Let's talk about the big elephant in the room. Kayla Harrison is out against Amanda Nunes in the co-main event, so we are getting Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong pushed up, and Rose Namajunas versus Natalia Silva has also been moved up on the card. I'm super stoked to give you guys my predictions for this card. It's been a long 6 weeks. I'm going to give you guys my locks, my upsets. I got a couple of underdog picks on this card, but this is a pretty chalky, heavy favorite card. So don't look for some crazy plays for this first card, but I'm just happy that we're back to some UFC, right? So let's get it right into it. For the first fight, please remember to like and subscribe. I got a lot of content coming up, so please stay tuned for some new videos. On to the first fight of the card. We got Ty Miller versus Adam Fugit. This is gonna be a classic vet versus young fighter, young prospect. Ty Miller has great boxing. He has a pro boxing win, and he has a very nice reach advantage of 77 and a half inches, and he has 60. He's 6'2", so he's pretty tall for welterweight. On the other side, we got Adam Fugit. He's 37 years old. He's kind of just he's here to collect a check now. He's pretty good though. Don't get me wrong. His losses are to pretty good opponents. Like he's lost to Michael Morales, Mike Mallet, Islam Dulatov. So he's not like a scrub. Like if you beat him, you're destined for some good things, which I think Ty Miller is. He's got incredibly fast hands, good power in those hands. The only thing I could see Adam having success in is the takedowns. He could wrestle a little bit, take this fight into the later rounds. But I just think that he has a shoddy chin, 37 years old. Ty Miller could have a breakout performance here, and I think that's what the UFC wants. That's why they set this up pretty short notice. So I'm going to go with Ty Miller by decision. On to the next fight. Next fight on the card, Ricky Tercios versus Cameron Smotherman. This fight is for the contract. This is a contract fight. Both of these guys are on some pretty bad losing streaks, or 1, 2 wins here and there while getting 3 losses. So Ricky Tercios, he is pretty slow, I want to say, on the feet. Like he has a high guard, but it just feels like sometimes when he's fighting, he's moving at like point 0.5 speed. He doesn't seem like he's like all the way there on his striking. He seems uncomfortable when he's striking. While on the feet, he has some pretty good jiu-jitsu. He can lock up a couple subs, so I think Cameron Smotherman overall is just better when it comes to the striking, the grappling defense. I don't think Tercios is going to have any success in the grappling. I think Cameron is going to be able to keep a steady pace, keep his striking, let his striking do the talking, let his striking win the rounds. While Tercios might take him down, but I don't think he'll be able to lock up any subs or anything from the bottom. So I think this is pretty much a mid off. Nothing too like crazy going on between these two. I just think that Ricky Tercios' losses are a lot worse. Losing to Chiwiwis, don't get me wrong, he's a fan favorite. That whole Sphere card was pretty big, but Raul Rosas is not the best fighter. I'm confident enough to say that now. He's not the best fighter, so I'm gonna go with Cameron Smotherman, 28 years old. He has the upside of being younger. He looked good in that Ricky Simone fight, where Ricky Tercios, he hasn't fought anybody of Ricky Simone's caliber. I want to say the closest he got was maybe Chuiwis, and he got subbed. So that says what we need to say about that. So on to the next fight. Final prediction: Cameron Smotherman by decision. On to the next fight. Welcome to the unction. We got Michael Johnson versus Alexander Hernandez. I I could see Michael Johnson getting a crafty vet performance. He could go out there, 40 years old, put on a little bit of a masterclass. But I'm gonna go with Alexander Hernandez. He's just been looking like the fresher fighter. The wins that he's getting. Both of these guys are on 5 fight win streaks, but Alexander's wins have been way better. Chase Hooper, Diego Ferreira, those are some crazy good losses. So I want to go with Alexander Hernandez. Michael Johnson, he has a win over Ottoman Azaitar. Not the greatest win. It's just he's on a win streak, but the people he's beating aren't some named like fighters. Some people that you're gonna be like, oh, he beat that guy. Oh, he's good. Like he still got it. He's just beating jobbers. So that's why I think Alexander's kind of on his final run to any sort of ranking, yet alone title at 33. So I just think that if he wants to make something happen, today's or now is the time. This fight is the time to make it happen. And I think this could be the first upset of the card. Don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna go with Alexander Hernandez. Final prediction: round two KO, or I could see KO/decision, but I'm gonna go round two KO. On to the next fight. Flyweight bout. Now this fight is on the main card. Excuse me for having it so low. This PowerPoint was made prior to the whole card switching up the Kayla Harrison injury. Speaking of injuries, this fight is actually somewhat short notice. Even though that Natalia Silva got full 8 weeks of training, she's actually filling in for Alexa Grasso, who is now fighting Macy Barber in Seattle on the Israel Adesanya card. So we got number 2 ranked Natalia Silva versus number 6 Rose Namajunas. Now Rose is a vet. Rose has been there, done it. Whatever it could be. Champion wise, she has a pedigree. Even her flyweight wins are amazing. She went 5 rounds with Manon Fiorot. Amazing is crazy, but you know, losing to Aaron Blanchfield the way she did kind of is what's giving me the telltale sign that she's kind of fallen off. Miranda Maverick win, not the biggest deal. It's a good win, but I would have loved to see Rose maybe get an Alexa Grasso or maybe get a Macy Barber before jumping all the way back up to Natalia Silva, who's on that Manon Fiorot Valentina level, I think. Natalia, she uses her kicks at range. She got very good footwork, fast striking. She wins rounds off her striking, and I think that's what's going to be the telltale sign of this fight. Rose, she has the grappling, she has the striking, but is she going to be able to combine the two better than Natalia will be able to get the win? That's the thing. Because Natalia Silva has underrated takedown defense. She's very good at not getting taken down. And her striking, well, it speaks for itself. But I just think that this could be another upset. This could be a split decision, but I'm going to go with Natalia Silva by decision. Super heavy favorite, minus 440. Even a bigger favorite now. This is old stats by this point. So I'm gonna go with Natalia Silva by decision. I could I couldn't see us finishing this card, so or on this fight, so I'm just gonna go with decision. That's a safe pick. That's what I would go with. I wouldn't put this in a parlay or anything. I would just watch this in the background, do something else. But on to the next fight. Heavyweight bout: Josh Hokett versus Denzel Freeman. This fight is pretty similar. I want to say like similar levels of guys. Like both of these heavyweights are good American prospects. Denzel Freeman, he got the wrestling. Josh Hokett, he got the wrestling as well, but he has the striking. That's the difference. He got the striking. Denzel Freeman, he looked pretty lackluster. I want to say against Bujo in his last fight. He just sounded kind of weird, like during the fight. I don't know if you've seen this fight. If you haven't, go watch it. The whole time he was screaming like a tennis player, like "Hiya, hiya!" each punch. So that's why I'm gonna go with Josh Hokett. Not just that, but that's playing a part into it. Josh Hokett is 30 pounds lighter than Denzel Freeman. He's 236, while Denzel is almost upwards of 265. So that's going to play a part. The speed, the striking speed advantage is going to play a big part in this fight. And I just think that we're looking at long fight here, either a decision or a round 3 KO. So I'm going to go with Josh Hokett by round 3 KO/decision. I would say KO/decision is a pretty good line for this one. But I could see this going all 3 rounds too. I think these guys could just be, like a similar levels of fighters. So this could just go all 3 rounds. I could see that happening. On to the next fight. Flyweight bout. Our son, by Charles Johnson is here. We're champion now, buddy. So your little fluke KO over us means nothing now. But hopefully one day you'll get there too, little buddy. uh, we got Charles Johnson versus Alex Perez. Do not let Alex Perez's nasty record fool you. He's only lost to the best of the best. He's lost to Tatsuro Taira, Asu Amabayev, Pantoja, like he's losing to great guys, top five guys of the division. And he's winning against these guys until he gets fluked by some crazy stuff, man. Like against Asu Mabayev, he was beating him until Asu snagged up that nasty choke. Against Tatsuro Taira, he was winning that fight until Tatsuro Taira fluked the injury over him. He was doing better than Brandon Moreno was doing against Tatsuro Taira in December. So Alex Perez is no slouch. He's not a scrub. I just think that Charles Johnson has grappling, the striking from distance, and the takedown defense with his long limbs, his long reach. That is going to be the factor that gets him the win in this fight. Charles Johnson is 5-0 in his last 5 fights. It says 4-1, but his one loss is against Ramzan Tamirov, who failed a drug test and he's been suspended for a year. So I want to say that's basically a no contest. He was on his John Jones activities, so we know how he was moving. But I'm gonna go Charles Johnson, 5-0, should be highly ranked, higher than number 13, to get a win over Alex Perez, who I don't think he doesn't have it anymore. His last KO win was Mateus Nicolau, who's not in the UFC anymore. So I'm gonna go final prediction: Charles Johnson by decision. I could see round 3 KO, late rounds KO, but I'm confident in Alex Perez's ability to survive as well. So I'm going to go with decision. On to the next fight. Next fight on the card, Atiba Gauthier, Kratos versus Andre Pulayev. Minus 1,000 favorite, Atiba Gauthier. What do you guys want me to say about this, man? Whew. Every time I see this guy's face, I just think the last guy he fought, bro. Trenton Vines. This guy was sprinting in the cage. He was terrified of Atiba Gautier. They say he's 23. Bro is not 23. I don't care what you say. Bro is not 23. He's at least 30. I don't know where they found this man from, but they brought him over to America now. So I think Andre Pulayev is in for a rude awakening, bro. Like 10-3. He's a good fighter. I just think that he folds under pressure. We've seen that against him versus Nick Klein in the first rounds, where he was just pressuring him, and Andre was moving back the whole time, trying to strike from range. That's his whole style, striking from range. So Atiba Gautier's pressure is next level. He's gonna go Francis Ngannou level in there versus Alistair Overeem. He's gonna go in there full pedal to the metal, and he's gonna find that chin pretty quick. I could see a measured Atiba Gautier in there. If that happens, I could see it going into round 2, round 3, but I don't think this is going to go to the decision. I don't think the scorecards are going to matter in this fight. Atiba Gautier by KO, round 1. Next prediction: Umar Nurmagomedov versus Davison Figueiredo on the prelims, bro. This is crazy. Because if Umar wins this, he might be getting a title shot after the Jan Mara rematch, the trilogy. So this is crazy that if he wins, he's on the prelims, bro. That's tough. Well, Sean O'Malley gets the co-main event spot round, so that's pretty funny. Davison Figueiredo, there's no way out of this one. You're done. It's over. Umar Nurmagomedov minus 1,600 favorite. He's gonna slime you out. At first, when I first saw this fight, I was like, "Ooh, submission could be tough." Umar by submission, but I think that Umar is just gonna go out there and get a decision. He's gonna Khabib Max. He's gonna pressure. He's gonna go for the takedowns. He might do well in the striking as well. I could honestly see Umar maybe getting like a round 3 stoppage, ground and pound stoppage. But we don't see that much from these guys. So I think that's a pretty risky bet. I think overall, if you want to do something, it should be submission slash decision, or just go full decision. But you don't want to put Umar in anything but a parlay. He's a pretty chalky favorite. Even his prop bets are pretty choppy. So I don't think you want to put him in any straight bets at least. I think Davison Figueiredo, former champ, feels bad. Plus 750, huge underdog, or yeah, huge underdog. I just don't think he has any way to win this fight. There's like no path to victory where you could be like, okay, if he does this and he can get a win. There's nothing like that. He can't submit him. He can't grapple with him. He can barely strike with him. The only thing I can see is a fluke KO, which if that happens, That'd be pretty funny, but I'm gonna go with Umar Magomedov by decision. On to the next pick. Light heavyweight bout. Nikita Krylov versus Modestas Bukauskas. I'm gonna go with Modestas Bukauskas, and I'll tell you why. I think that Nikita Krylov is hard to pinpoint right now. He has some crazy, like a crazy record, good wins back in the day. Like he has a good win over Magomed, or not win, but he has a good fight with Magomed Ankalaev, which not a lot of people talk about. Ever since he came back in 2023, he's got slimed out twice. Dominic Reyes, the title run was alive. Uh, Bogdan Guskov, one of the best prospects at light heavyweight, he got slimed out by both of them, which are not bad losses. So he's in a weird situation where if he goes out here and fraud checks Modestas, you won't be surprised at all. It actually seems like that's what should happen, right? That okay, the the level of opponent has changed, so now you're going to a less threatening opponent level. You should be able to win this fight, right? But Modestas, don't let him fool you. His KO power is the reason that he's getting this fight, I'm pretty sure. He is up and coming. He's really good. Ever since Roundtree made him look like an IG reel highlight with his knee, he's been on a tear. He's been knocking out everybody. Paul Craig. I know this division is really, really shallow, so please, the names are going to be crazy. Listen, John Jones's best wins at light heavyweight were genuinely Gustafsson and Dominic Reyes. So let's not go crazy about this light heavyweight division. It's never been that good, other than Yuri Prohaska and Roundtree and Pereira, right? So those top five guys are really keeping this division alive. So enough yapping. I'm gonna go with simple MMA math. I don't think Modestas Bukauskas is gonna falter at an opportunity like this. He's gonna have the game plan. He trains at the Aspinall gym. I think he's gonna KO Krylov for a third KO loss in a row for him. I think that Krylov is either gonna retire or go to something like KSW kickboxing and like those Pakistani karate tournaments. Go to one of those ones where they got Luke Rockhold in them. I think he'll do good there. So final prediction: Modestas Bukauskas round 2 KO. On to the main card. Main card opener. My first underdog pick of the card. Arnold Allen. I'm going with Arnold Allen over Gene Silva. I'll tell you why. Gene Silva is extremely overrated in my eyes. I think he has good striking, he has good grappling defense and grappling. I just think the people he's styling on are not some next level world beaters, like he's just winning against Bryce Mitchell, Drew Dober, you know, people that a lot of ranked fighters have to get through to even get ranked. So the fact that he got to number 10 and then they gave him Diego Lopez, that says a lot about his talent, but he hasn't proven himself with those wins. I feel like the wins of a fighter and it's not about the record of the fighter. It's about how many style matchups, how many next level fighters is he fighting? How many people of recognition has he fought? Has he experienced cage time with? That's one of the biggest things, in my opinion, to good fighters. Because you could have somebody that's 19-0, and then he runs into some grappler. Like look at Omalley. He got a curated record all the way to the top. He got a fluky win over Peter Yan where he didn't win, and then look what happened. He got outclassed as soon as he got uh, put up against a next level grappler. He fluked the Aljo fight. Sure, we'll say that Aljo got fucked. It's okay, right? Aljo got destroyed. Whatever. But against Marab, he did very, very bad. Genuinely, he did bad, right? He got taken down repeatedly. So when you have these Dana White favorite protected type fighters, there's gonna be a time where they get a number one ranked opponent, they lose, in Gene Silva's case, and then they have to go down the ladder when they haven't even made it up. So now he's getting Arnold Allen at number 6. Now Allen is a big dog. Don't let his little autistic face fool you, bro. This guy, he will go in there and give a tough challenge to the best of them. He gave Max Holloway a run for his money. He almost beat Movzar Evloev. He was a knee away from beating Movzar. And he has some great wins in this division. He's a staple of the division. He's almost like a two fights away from a title shot. So I think that his pace, his striking, and his Muay Thai type guard is going to be very, very good. His wrestling is very underrated. Wrestling of Arnold Allen is better than those of Bryce Mitchell, of Drew Dober. So I think that if we see a different Gene Silva, a timid Gene Silva, after getting destroyed by Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez's fight was only 4 months ago, so he's on a pretty quick, decent, quick turnaround too. So, and that was not a easy fight for Silva. He took a lot of damage. He looked like a bowling ball. He had 3 holes in his head. So Arnold Allen is coming off a 2-year layover as well, but I think that he's been training, he's been bulking in that time, which is going to be a good thing because Gene Silva is a very, very big 145er. So if Arnold Allen has been put on a lot of weight, that's going to be very, very good for his chances in the fight. Final prediction: Arnold Allen by decision. On to the next fight of the card. Heavyweight bout: Waldo Cortez Acosta. Sorry, I don't know why I put Costa in there, but it's Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis. My balls is hot. Now this pick could land me in UFC YouTube purgatory. I mean dead ass. This could be my Oppenheimer moment if he wins, or this could be my like downfall before it even began if he loses. I'm gonna go with Derek Lewis, and I'll give you my crazy crackpot reasoning why. But you gotta hear me out for it. I'm picking Derek Lewis strictly because Waldo has been winning too much, bro. Luck's been on his side too long, bro. I played these games before. I can just see Derek Lewis going in there, fluking an uppercut in close in the clinch in the middle of the cage, and then just knocking out Waldo because they want Derek Lewis to be number 5. They want Derek Lewis on the White House card. Trump loves Derek Lewis. They're gonna want him on the card no matter what. But if he's ranked number 5, they will give him Alex Pereira or Cyril Gahn as like a number 1 contender or like a interim champion fight or something crazy like that. They'll find a way to justify it. Who? Well, Derek Lewis? Yeah. How can you not give that kid a title shot? How can you not give him a title shot? You know, a win over Costa. Where's Waldo? Yeah, you give him a title shot. So I could just see Dana White sitting up there after the press conference, just talking about we'll figure it out Tuesday. So, you know, I'm gonna go with Derek Lewis just because of my crackpot theory. Do I suggest that you pick Derek Lewis? Hell no. Do I think that Derek Lewis has the KO power to knock out somebody like Waldo Cortez Acosta? Yes, he does. Can I see Waldo just piecing up Lewis on the feet, knocking him back, just making a fool out of him like how Tai Tuivasa got made a fool out of? Yes, I could. So I'm gonna go with Derek Lewis off of a gut feeling, and I'm gonna I'm gonna go for my gut feeling this time, man. I'm tired of not going for it. So on to the next fight. The new co-main event of the evening. Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. I'm gonna go with Sean O'Malley. And I think this fight is a lot closer than it seems. A lot of Glazers are making it seem like this is a walk in the park. But Song Yadong could generally just hold Sean down. He could just take him down repeatedly if that's what he wants to do. But I don't think that is. I think that Sean O'Malley has he's like a sniper, so he can be at range. While Song Yadong is a little bit smaller, he's a little bit more crafty. He has to get in the pocket. He has to get around a fighter, close to a fighter, to get the hooks off. He gums in throwing hooks to get the takedowns off. So if O'Malley can move laterally, strike from a distance, land the counter punches, I think that he'll just be able to put on a little bit of a striking clinic, how he did kind of against Chito Vera. While Song Yadong, his only path to victory in this fight is kind of taking him down, taking O'Malley down, striking, getting close, getting some combos off, getting in, pop, pop out, getting out, something like that. That could be a good game plan. He got Uriah Faber in his corner. He trains at a good gym. I just think that O'Malley, he knows that he's in a win now situation. This is the chance, because if he wins in a spectacular fashion, he could get the Peter Yan not only rematch, no matter if it's for a belt or for a number 1 contender fight. Because If Merab wins the rematch against Yan, then they'll do Umar Merab 2, Yan versus Omalley 2 as well. If Yan beats Merab twice, then they can clearly do Sean O'Malley versus Yan 2 for the belt. And then you can do Merab versus Umar as a number one contender fight too. So there's a lot of good things coming in this bantamweight division. This is one of my favorite divisions to watch overall. So very, very high skilled bout. I just think that this is the last hurrah for Sean O'Malley. If he wants to stay in the title picture, that's what he's got to do. And if he loses this, it's either 145 or take up the throne, King. This is your time, bro. Take up the throne and post up in the corner. What can I say? On to the main event of the lightweight title bout, interim lightweight title bout. Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. I'm gonna go with Paddy Pimblett, bro, and I'll tell you why. I just think that Paddy Pimblett has he's got it. He's got that it factor about him, you know? If in 10 years time we look back and we're like, okay, lightweight fight for the first fight of the year, Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett, Justin Gaethje won, retired on the spot. Like, come on, that's not gonna sound tough. Paddy Pimblett won the belt, fought Ilya in June or July. That sounds crazy, right? Got slimed out, then he fought Oliveira, then this and that. So of course you want Paddy to win as a fan, just for the narrative, just for the optics, I guess, of the overall event. But strictly from an MMA standpoint, I think that Justin Gaethje is cooked, bro. He's cooked. 37 years old. He has staff. He's talking about retirement. He's getting taken down more and more in recent fights. Fiziev opened the second rematch with a double leg, bro, and he got it. He got the double leg off. So if strikers like kickboxing phenoms like Fiziev are taking you down, you don't have the wrestling pedigree that Joe Rogan and John Anik keep yapping about at the start of the fight. He doesn't have that. He's been subbed twice in his last two title fights. Charles Oliveira got a sub off on him. And Charles Oliveira is very much Paddy Pimblett style. High chin up in the air, good jiu-jitsu, long, lanky, powerful hands, Pimblett is like a mini Oliveira. I could see this fight playing out a lot like that. I could see Justin Gaethje going in with the Rufus Nuke, the and hitting it, and boom, oh, Paddy's down. He gets back up. Paddy Pimblett stays on the ground. Justin Gaethje follows him onto the ground. Gets put in the triangle, done. He's sleeping just like that, you know. So he wants to say he doesn't have staff. We seen the picture, bro. Talking about it's ingrown hair. You don't get a tree trunk crater in your neck if you have an ingrown hair, dude. Like he's cooked. If he has staff and he has a broken nose already, he won't be able to breathe in there. He's gonna have cardio issues as well. So I'm gonna go with Paddy Pimblett, round 3 submission. I think that's playing it pretty safe. I would just go full submission, leave the round out of it. Round 3 submission, and I'm gonna have my Tapology link in my description. So if you guys want to see my final predictions, at least like my overall predictions, that'll be where you'll see them. But I think I'm not gonna change them too much from what I have in this video. So if you were listening all the way through, I thank you so much for listening to me yap about UFC. This is one of my favorite hobbies. Is just to watch these guys fight, create narratives, create fights, create rankings. So if that's something that you guys like as well, please leave a comment letting me know what you guys want to see on this channel. I have a couple of videos coming out soon. Obviously, we're going to talk about this fight card after it's done, same night on Saturday. I'm going to have the fights to make up on Sunday, and then next week we'll obviously do the 325 rant. I'm pissed about that fight card, but we'll get into that next week. And I plan on doing a Miami card builder for April. Hopefully, it doesn't get announced by this fight. If it does, oof, that's gonna make my plans a little weird, but then I'll just react to the fights, right? So thank you guys so much for watching. I am an industry plant. I'll show you at the end of this video. I got the cosign from the big guru, so I'm an industry plant. I'm here to stay. So thank you guys so much. Please like and comment what I should do better, if I should change anything up with the setup. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Peace out. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
That was good music to goon to. Editing my first YouTube video for UFC 324. Good luck with your channel, good sir. I wish you the best of luck with your endeavors.